Okay, so I'm up here on top of Reserrection. Haven't got to washing or anything yet, but not sure I even ever mentioned on video, but at the end of last summer, I'm not sure if it's just because the dust and mess from working in the boat, but I blew out the Multiplus converter charger, the Victron. But then I was worried about the battery staying charged, so I ran up here with the solar panel on the roof, and I tried to put the solar panel on like literally the day I was leaving, and then realized that I had accidentally switched one of the terminals. I'll show you. Yeah, so the positive is correct, but I put the exact same end on for the negative, and it should be, you know, 1 minus 1 positive. Anyway, now I have all the tools I need to fix that. I can switch the ends easy enough. Simple to do, but I didn't have time before I left. I never did put power. Anyway, so then the damn batteries all went completely flat. Probably ruined the engine start batteries because they're lead acid. They get a trickle charge from the whole system, you know, but doesn't work if there's no power coming in. So anyway, now I've got I've still got to deal with that Multiplus, and it might just be covered under warranty. I'm working on sending it back because it's a 6-year warranty on that thing. So I'm working on getting it sent back in. If they find it's probably full of dust and moisture, well, they probably will void the warranty, but I don't know if that's what it was or not. There was no evidence that it really got that dirty or that wet, but it was timed exactly with that work, so probably. Anyway, so I'm sending that back. I'll either have to buy a new one or they'll replace it under warranty. I don't know which, but in the meantime, I'd like to keep some kind of power to the boat and keep these get these batteries recharged, and also I've got the brand new Rebel battery in here, and I need to keep it charged up. So I'm going to rely on solar now. I've got 3 of these 100-watt panels, and the other 2 are in storage still, but I'm just working on switching this where I'll get at least one plugged in, make sure the charge controller works. Never even used the dang thing before, so yeah, just gonna plug this guy in, make sure that works, get some power coming so it'll start at least getting a trickle charge, you know, to the batteries and stuff in here. And then I haven't even got to cleaning the boat yet, so you know, this solar panel looks like it's been sitting here all winter. It has, under a tree pretty much, so very little sun got to it. But anyway, yeah, I think my next step will be to wash this entire boat soon, but I want to get these batteries at least charging a little bit, and also get the warranty going on the Victron and just stuff like that right away. So yeah, that's what I'm up to. So I'll hook up this little solar panel and go from there.
A new place, a new home, for a while, let me feel alive. Nothing to hold me back, take my time, just enjoy the ride. A new man passing by, life is good, best I've ever felt.
Hey, so my first day, actually second day back in Oregon, but first day back hiking up here in the mountains and back here by my favorite creek. Checking things out, see how it's been. Well, it's not quite a year, but it's been a while since I've been up here, and everything's about the same. All the blackberries are blooming right now, and so weird thing is there's actually a couple berries right here that might have bloomed early. That's interesting. That'd be awesome. I'd love to have some berries this early in the season. So anyway, yeah, nice to get back up here again. Sorry about the lighting, yeah, and just like I said last year, it's amazing no one ever hikes up here, but I'm going to plan to hike up here every day. So I don't have anything permanent going here, but just use the pigtails real quick to connect all 3 of these 100-watt solar panels, and they're not stuck down or anything, just laying up here, but just trying to get some power going to the boat since I can't plug in and charge it because I blew out the charger. So yeah, good news. Just checked, and even after the draw that's going to the draw that's kind of natural, you know, to the boat, the batteries are still taking on, or the best single battery that's hooked up is still taking on about 8 amps right now, and it's late in the afternoon, so that's good. And I know there's a trickle still going off to the engine batteries, because I noticed there's a voltage now showing up on the engine battery monitors, so so I know a little getting siphoned off for those two. I'm not expecting the engine batteries to really be good anymore. They're lead acid batteries, and they were pretty much flat all winter, so that pretty much, you know, that means their useful life is probably about shot. But they are still taking on a little bit of a charge, so hey, that's okay. I'm not going to count on them to start the engines right now, but they'll at least run all the systems in the boat that run off of the engine batteries. Probably will have enough juice to run, so that's the stereo and water pump, stuff like that. So anyway, they are on the short list for replacement anyways, but right now, yeah, solar's doing good. Just quickly connected them. We've actually owned these solar panels for a while now, just never got them up here. So I'm finally coming to you from inside Reserrection. Still a few spots that could use some cleaning, but she's doing just so much better. So I can at least be in here now and not like have a respirator on or anything. The other good news is that by some miracle, this is the voltage for the engine batteries. Still have kind of a lot of this original stuff, the stereo and the VHF radio and all that is all tied into the engine batteries. And the good news is their voltage has been coming up and up since I hooked up the solar power. Those things were just dead as a doornail, and I figured probably completely ruined, but the fact that we're up to 12.3 and there's just a trickle charge to them that comes off of the house batteries. So the lithium battery and the solar has a tiny little trickle charger that just gives a little boost to those engine batteries. And so now it's been, well, I hooked up the first panel a couple days ago and all 3 panels 2 days ago. And so we have 2 full days of a full sun on 300 watts of panels. So it's had a pretty consistent power during the day. And so, yeah, it's slowly topping up those batteries, which I can't even believe. And it should, I think their max is, I think they'll show full charge at 12.8 if I remember, 12.7, something like that. So we'll see if they come all the way up. They may not be good still. They may not have the amps to crank the engines over, but we'll see. I am not truly worried about it. I'm just glad to have the ability to turn on lights and stereo and stuff inside the boat. That'll be convenient. So yeah, good news on that front. And as you can see, roof and everything, walls a lot more cleaned up. So a little more scrubbing to do in places, like I said, to really get it clean. But actually, if, I'm thinking about it, I'm going to be back in here sanding again. Every damn inch of this thing is going to be covered in dust again, no matter how hard I try to keep the dust down. So in that respect, I guess as long as it's safe to be in here, then I'm not too worried about cleaning it too much more. So anyway, project for today, take out windows. We're going to take out a couple of these windows so we can get a perfectly accurate measurement on the opening. And actually, maybe I can just take out one and I can verify with the frame like exactly where the opening is. But I want to make sure that if I'm ordering windows that they fit and they're exactly right. So, and we could do templates also. I don't know if we need a template or not. We'll take out the window, do measurements, and just see how it comes out. So that's the plan. And so I'm wondering how hard this is really going to be. Swapping these windows might be way easier than I thought. Yeah, there's been a lot of caulking over the years to seal this window up, so that's part of what's made this thing stick so well. I feel like the screw is broken off in there, something. Got this thing connected in mean, there's nothing there still. I mean, I could drill it out maybe with these spur. Oh, I broke the tool. How do you like that? That's what snapped. Crazy. That was really caulked in there, wasn't it? This window's difficult because it's recessed behind the closet a little bit. But yeah, got it. So, you know, actually I think this window might be one of the last like fully operational windows. I mean, the screen was fully on there and it still latches properly and still slides. Nice, huh? Amazing that 50 years, I mean, really, I mean, can't complain that windows last that freaking long. I mean, they're on their last leg for sure, but with a little bit of fiddling, you could actually get almost every one in the boat to still operate mostly, so this one's the best of them, but still, it's pretty amazing, actually. And this one has never leaked. Wall's in perfect condition. Pretty crazy. Hey everybody, so I thought I'd just give you a quick update on the solar power on the boat. Real interesting because I recently did the solar power system on the RV, and for that I have that. That's going to be on a video too, so look for that. But anyway, the production on that and the solar panels used on that RV were I specifically looked for Mono Crystaline rigid panels, because all the reviews I've ever read always said that those are the most production you could get in many different facets. What I mean by that is usually get the closest to the actual rating, real world production, and then also you get better production at angles, you know, at steep sun angles, and you get better production with partial shade on the panel, and pretty much just across the board they're just better panels. So a monocrystalline rigid panel, even though you pay a weight penalty, of course, you know, having those. But now the question is, how about these flexible walk-on panels? You know, how do they compare? Because actually, well, I mean, I have 300 watts, you know, here, and I have 400 on the RV, but the production difference is actually pretty staggering. I mean, it's not the difference of 100 watts, that's for sure. The 100 watt monocrystalline panels are way outperforming these 100 watt walk-on panels in real world. So just you know, if anyone's, you know, as far as the debate goes, I mean, I got real world side by side now. The real best, of course, obviously the real test, I mean, I'm here in Oregon, and I don't know that I have, because the RV's not in full sun, it's really hard for me to get a side by side, you know, comparison with them. But I can tell you that so far, though, even though I can't like have them both in the sun at the same time, from what I can see, the difference is pretty staggering. So I'd say that if I had those 3 monocrystalline panels out here, I'd probably be getting about generated down to the batteries production probably in the realm of 18 to 20 amps. And with these flexible panels, same rating, 300 watts, I'm lucky to get 10 amps. So yeah, it's a difference. It's almost half the production. So yeah, that's the real world side by side so far. Now I'll keep on playing with all, you know, checking it out and comparing, and I'll maybe add to this and just let you know if that's maintained to be true. And also the charge controller, you know, I've got a way cheaper charge controller on here. There's all these other factors, so this is not a scientific thing. If I had the two side by side and I had the same charge control and everything, we'd really know the difference. But anyways, but as I keep fiddling with things and trying different things, I'll let you know how it goes. So I was getting kind of excited that the engine start batteries would probably still be good, but I was kind of fooled because they were getting a little trickle charge from the solar and the house system, and I disconnected that trickle charge wire, and they've been steadily, I mean, they'd been dropping relatively fast. 11.8. Yeah, I'm not really, I don't know, it's not terrible, but I can get the sense that these guys are not at full strength, but that's okay. I kind of assumed that to be the case, so it's not like anything different than I was expecting, but yeah, they're holding more of a surface charge, looks like, than sort of a deep charge, because they're losing the voltage pretty fast when they sit just for a little while. Yeah, so to update guys on the solar panel production. So 2 o'clock in the afternoon, pretty close to the summer solstice, but pretty far north here in Oregon, and got full sun on the panels, and actually got 17.3 amps. So actually doing a little better than I said earlier. So unfortunately the RV is pretty much in the shade, so hard to get any comparison to those Mono Crystaline panels, but based on my experience between the two, it's actually a lot closer than I thought, so that's good news. Either way though, if you have the option, I would always go with the rigid Mono Crystaline panels. In fact, if I could on this boat, I think I would put a solar arch over the back deck here, and I would just cover it in rigid Mono Crystaline panel. That would be awesome. Something I'd love to do one day if I get the chance on it. So but if you have to have walk-on, I mean, assuming you can keep those guys in the sun, it's actually doing okay. So so yeah, that's kind of the real world review. Definitely take the rigid if you can get them, but for the convenience and flexibility, I mean flexible in the panels are actually flexible. For that reason, you know, it's hard to pass up those Flexy panels, but they do cost more. But in the case like on top of the boat, you have to have them because you got to be able to walk around up there. So so yeah, no complaints really. They're charging up the big battery that I have in there now, and they're going to get the job done for what they are. No problems. But they just, man, they are so susceptible to, there's so many things up there that can cause shade with the railing and everything. Yeah, it's like getting them in full sun is extremely hard. They're usually covered with shade, and the minute you put any shade on one panel, you lose almost all the production. So that's a real bummer, and I don't know if that's really true with the Mono Crystaline, because I've not really had them in the same circumstance to put like partial like shade like from a railing or something, but in my experience they seem less susceptible to that. So anyway, that's the story.